Hello, everyone. I'm Randy Murphy, epidemiologist and director of disease surveillance at the Mobile County Health Department. Small technical adjustment here. Thank you, James. All right, I'm here to give you our Monday, June 28th Facebook Live update on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on Mobile County residents, visitors, and workers. So today we are reporting on 42,342 cases of COVID-19. 20 were reported to us yesterday. Again, over 42,000 cases been reported cumulatively. Our very first case, if you remember, last year was on March 19th in a Mobile County resident. So seems like we've been about a year and 3 months.
March 13th.
March 13th, did I say May? Sorry.
No, it was Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th was definitely the first case in the state of Alabama. Friday the 13th. And then the first case in a Mobile County resident was reported on the 19th of March. All right, so 20 cases reported yesterday. We continue to see a very low number of cases reported to us on a daily basis. In fact, the last 6 weeks, we've recorded less than 200 cases per week for each of the last 6 weeks. So that is really good news. The number of people died with COVID is at 836. No new deaths were reported to us yesterday. When we look at the pattern of deaths from COVID by the date of death, there is a little bit of a lag, but over the last 6 to 8 weeks, we've had no more than 5 deaths reported to us in any given week. So it is good news that hospitalizations and deaths continue to be low. On hospitalizations, the cumulative number of people hospitalized is 5,108. No new hospitalizations reported yesterday. On any given day, it's inching back up a little bit, which sometimes makes me a bit nervous, but yesterday 25 people were hospitalized with a COVID-19 diagnosis, and the day before that just 24. So again, we had been less than 20 for about 10 days. It's inched up the last day or two, so we will continue to keep an eye on that. But overall, the number of hospitalizations quite low. And also other things, indicators that we look at are the number of emergency department visits that are attributable to COVID-like illness or influenza-like illness. Those are still pretty low. It looks like, we see down around 2 or 3% of ED visits attributable to COVID-like illness or influenza-like illness. And then that other indicator that we look at, which is the percent test positive, so we're still down around 3% of all COVID tests that are positive. Anecdotally, we're hearing from some of our rapid testing partners around town that it seems to be getting a little busier with COVID testing and with COVID positives. So, people are traveling, there's less mask wearing. We have a very low vaccine coverage rate in Alabama and in Mobile. So we are continuing to see cases, although they are still extremely low. So, keep up the good work, get your vaccine, wear a mask, and distance when you're around people that you don't know. Although if you're not vaccinated, and if you're fully vaccinated, feel free to carry on much as you did before the COVID-19 pandemic. So a couple things I'll just mention. We got a couple questions last week. They were a little bit different. Someone asking why so many people are having sinus issues in the middle of June. I'm not a sinus infection epidemiologist, so please, if you are experiencing symptoms of sinus infection, seek a provider. If you do not have a medical home, please call us at 251-690-8889, and we will be happy to set you up with a licensed healthcare provider who can evaluate you for symptoms of respiratory disease or maybe sinus infection. Also, people asking about the COVID variant that's called the Delta. This is also something that was first identified in India. So yes, we know the Delta COVID variant is in Mobile County. We have detected it around a dozen times in Mobile County residents. And, we know the variants are more highly transmissible than the parent COVID. So, the UK variant was about 20% more transmissible, more infectious. And the Delta variant is about 50% more infectious or transmissible than the B117 variant. So it is a high concern that we have, Delta variant becoming a predominant strain throughout the U.S. It is particularly concerning in areas like Mobile and Alabama, where you have a low vaccination rate, that this Delta variant could get in and outcompete the other variants. The good news is that 2 doses of vaccine seems to provide a good measure of protection against the Delta variant. So more reason to consider getting vaccinated if you haven't already. In Alabama, we have only about, actually, this is in Mobile County. We have less than 34% of people in Mobile County who've received at least 1 dose, and less than 29% that have been fully vaccinated. So again, if you've been fully vaccinated, you don't have to quarantine if you're exposed. You can pretty much, go about your day and your life and your work life as you did before COVID. If you are not fully vaccinated, then again, we strongly advise that you distance yourself and wear a mask when you cannot distance from people that don't live in the same household as you do. And then one question, are nosebleeds a side effect of the COVID vaccine? And I've not heard nosebleeds associated with the COVID vaccine. So let's see, just a reminder to everyone, a couple of things. One is we give COVID vaccine, and we do testing for COVID on a walk-in basis Monday through Friday at our New Bern Health Center at 248 Cox Street. So anyone can walk in to get a vaccine or get a rapid test for COVID at those locations. They're closed today for some staff training, but we'll be back open tomorrow, and again, Monday through Friday. Starting next Tuesday, we will also be open at our downtown Keeler location at 251 North Bayou, providing all 3 COVID vaccines and walk-in testing. So again, at our New Bern Health Center at 248 Cox and our downtown Keeler location at 251 North Bayou, you can get a vaccine or get tested for COVID without an appointment. And then we continue to have a lot of vaccine events throughout the county. Last week alone, we had 27 vaccine events where teams went out into the community to provide vaccination. We gave just under 400 total doses last week. So we are doing a lot to get out there in the community to raise awareness about the importance of vaccine, to make rapid testing available to you so that you can, know before you go get tested, before you travel, or, or you mix with large crowds. So keep an eye on mchdcares.com for all of our COVID vaccine events out in the community, or you can call 251-410-MCHD.
Got a question.
Okay.
How accurate is a PCR test for the variant?
So the PCR tests, for the most part, are highly accurate with COVID variants. There is one platform that may miss a COVID variant or 2, but we are doing a lot more sequencing now. So if we see somebody that we think has COVID and they test negative on one of the Abbott platforms, then we will flex to PCR just to make sure that we're not missing any COVID. But yeah, that's a great question. So the detection platforms, the testing platforms are performing pretty well against the COVID variants. We even have more testing now that will specifically detect variants, which is awesome. Also, vaccine is effective against the variant, maybe slightly less, but still very effective. And then the treatments that we have out there, convalescent plasma, remdesivir, those sorts of things may have slightly reduced impact on the COVID variants, but they will help. So get vaccinated to protect yourself from getting a COVID infection at all. Let's see. I was going to comment on 2 things, 2 big changes starting next week. So today is our last regularly scheduled Facebook Live. We've been doing this since last March. You may have seen our news release that when COVID first hit, we were doing Monday through Friday press conferences in our media room, and that just became too much of a challenge. We weren't able to socially distance there, so we went to a daily Facebook Live. And lots of people have helped out to make this happen. We've just tried to bring you just accurate, complete, up-to-date information as we came to know it. You all know that that information has changed rapidly throughout the outbreak. So today will be our last regularly scheduled Facebook Live. Of course, we'll come back to you should we need to for any breaking events. And then the other thing that will change next week is beginning on Tuesday when we come back from the 4th of July holiday, we'll no longer be emailing our daily report. So we are switching from an emailed PDF format for the most current information on the numbers of COVID cases in Mobile County, but we'll be switching to a dashboard that will be updated once daily, and you can go there at any time you want to see how many cases and hospitalizations and deaths we have from COVID. We'll still be publishing our expanded report, so that will continue for some time. We likely will do it less frequently than weekly, but we will be switching from our daily mass email report to a report that you can go onto our website at mchd.org and see the most current information on COVID cases and COVID vaccines. Do we have another question?
Yeah, quick wrap up about the differences between the variants. Is one stronger than the other? What's the difference?
Yeah, so there are many, many variants of COVID circulating worldwide. We used to call them by the location that they were originally or initially isolated. So we called it the UK variant or the Japan variant, the Brazil variant, the California, the New York variant. Then we sort of switched to calling them by like a number. So you might have, the UK variant was B112 and the Indian variant was B1617, and so different numbers. Now the WHO has started calling them sort of alpha through zeta according to their emergence worldwide. So B117, the UK variant, is called alpha. The India variant came along a little bit later. It's being called delta. So that's the naming convention even has changed dramatically just in the couple of months that we've been dealing with variants. Basically what happens is there is a genetic change or a mutation or substitution or deletion in the genetic makeup of the virus, and it alters the shape or form of the spike protein. That's overwhelmingly what happens with most of the variants. And so when the virus infects your body's immune system is less capable of mounting a response against that variant because there's been some structural change to that protein. So it makes your body less able to fight it off because the protein that's presented, the molecule that's presented to your immune system is slightly altered and it's not such a tight match. So that's sort of the 30,000 view version of what happens with the variants.
You got lots of thanks and lots of thumbs up.
Okay, great. All right, so you guys, thank you so much for your likes and your shares and your comments, even the ones that are sometimes hard to take. We just are really appreciative of the viewership and helping us get the word out there. I want to thank Mark Bryant and James Curry and Dr. Cepeda and Dr. Eichschild and Dr. Chavers and Stephanie and everybody, Brad Phillips, everybody who came on and helped us keep Facebook Live going this past year. And like I said, it's not goodbye, just we'll see you next time that we need to get some urgent information out there. So take care, everyone. Have a great, safe 4th of July.